Hi, everyone. I'd like to do a shout out to our sponsor, Bako Diagnostics. Early detection is the single most important factor in improving patient outcomes. The Bako Diagnostics team recognizes how impactful a podiatric physician can be and remains committed to supporting you in your role as the first line of defense in diagnosing conditions of the lower extremity. Thanks to the unwavering support of their clients, Bako Diagnostics has been able to give back to the podiatric community for 16 years by providing podiatric educational resources and advocating for the position. Bako Diagnostics, helping podiatric physicians keep America on its feet. If you have not yet had the opportunity to utilize Bako Diagnostics services, get started today by sending an email to corporaterelations@bakoddiagnostics.com. The first 50 podiatry offices who request a starter kit will receive a Dean's Chat mug. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dean's Chat, where we discuss all things podiatric medicine. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Jensen. I'm the Dean at the Arizona College of Podiatric Medicine and the co-host for the Dean's Chat podcast. Once again, I'm with my co-host, Dr. Jensen and Richey. Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
Hey, Jeff, I'm doing awesome. I'm really excited about today. We've got some great interviews lined up.
You know, I'm super excited about interviewing students from Samuel Merritt University College of Podiatric Medicine because it's one of the reasons it's my alma mater. So I'm always excited to talk to all of you.
Yes, and my previous place of life and at some points employment. So yeah, we're excited to have you guys. We try not to be biased, even with our own students. So we'll try not to be biased with you too, but there's a lot of love there.
Absolutely. So representing Samuel Merritt University College of Podiatric Medicine, our guests today are with the American Podiatric Medical Students Association. I'd like to introduce from the class of 2028, Quinton Markett. Welcome to Dean's Chat, Quinton.
Hey, thank you so much for having us. Excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. And also representing the class of 2028, Kathryn Maebori. Welcome to Dean's Chat, Kathryn.
Thank you so much for having us.
No, it's super exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you guys here to come talk to us a little bit about your roles in the APMSA. But before we get there, we also would love to hear a little bit about each of you. And so what we'll do is if you can tell us about where you did your undergrad, what your degree was in, and how you found out about podiatry. And Kathryn, we'll start with you because you're the first one in my screen.
Okay. So I went to UC Riverside. I graduated with a degree in biology. When I was at Riverside, I did a little bit of research with microbiology and plant pathology. It's a funny story how I found out about podiatry. I was in high school. I played soccer. One game, I unfortunately landed funny. I broke my lateral malleolar, I had a lateral malleolar fracture. Had to go see my podiatrist, and I thought it was really cool. I didn't really know what podiatry is all about. Unfortunately, I had to get 6 screws and a plate put into my fibula. But honestly, that kind of sparked like my interest in podiatry. I got to see, the surgical side, the clinical side, and I was like, this is something that maybe I want to check out.
Oh, I love that. We can certainly see the correlations when you are the patient. And how that also will help you as you go on. There's nothing more humbling than being a patient, but I love that that's what kind of sparked your initial interest. So thanks for sharing that. Quinton, how about you? Where did you do your undergrad, what your degree was, and how did you find out about podiatry?
I went to Loyola and Marymount University in LA for my undergrad. Wanted to go to a Jesuit college. I went to a Jesuit high school, so wanted to keep that going in my my undergrad education. Majored in biochemistry at LMU. And that brought me to Stanford, where I did a couple years in immunology lab when I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. But that's the point when I realized I wanted to do surgery. And it worked out that my Stanford lab group went for a run, a race. We ran the Oakland half marathon, the Bay Bridge half marathon, which starts in downtown Oakland, goes across the Bay Bridge and back. So I ran that race with my lab group, ended up rupturing a couple tendons in my feet. I fractured my talus. Yeah, so PT, posterior tibial tendon, and a few others in there. And then fractured my talus, calcaneus, and navicular, actually. And then no one referred me to podiatry. Went to the emergency room, did not get a podiatry reference, and kind of went down the path of discovering what podiatry was for myself.
Oh man, both of you got injured, and that's not really the way we want to promote people finding about podiatry, but I'm glad that you're here, and it will definitely give you both good insights into the opposite side of how we deliver care and what it feels like as a patient, and the frustration sometimes with the healthcare system, Quinton, as you so lovingly experienced. Back to you, Jeff.
So I'm curious about your shadowing experiences. Not only did you experience getting injured and getting care, but a lot of times the shadowing experience kind of solidifies the questions that you may have about a healthcare career. Quinton, do you mind commenting on your shadowing experience?
Yeah, so before I started at Samuel Merritt, I cold emailed the podiatrist in the area who happened to actually also go to Samuel Merritt back when it was called CSPM. And he practices in the peninsula region of the Bay Area. So actually went up there. I'm from the South Bay, drove up, spent a couple days with him for about 6 months, 6 to 8 months. Pretty much every Thursday spent in the OR with him. And then had another accident where I damaged my Achilles tendon and went to him and he helped me out with that. So it was good to be in clinic seeing. It was good to be in clinic seeing everything he goes through, mostly sports med and kind of orthopedic cases, but seeing the whole gamut of what he sees.
What a great experience. Thank you so much. Kathryn, what was your shadowing experience look like? I'm waiting for you to say you shadowed the same doc that repaired your ankle fracture.
I did. I did shadow them. I did shadow my podiatrist. He was really great. He is up in Sacramento, where I'm from. So I was able to shadow him, just was following him. I got to even go into some local anesthetic, like OR procedures, just shadowing. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, again, seeing the clinical, surgical side of things. And I really liked the work-life balance of podiatrists. I really got to see that when, there was a mix of surgery one day and then the next day is like clinical, another day is wound care, and just so many different things that I saw in podiatry. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like there's so many different things that you can do in this field.
So true. Just a little tidbit about the Bay Bridge. So in 1989, when they had the earthquake and part of the Bay Bridge fell down, when they repaired it, they opened it up at midnight. And we were among the first to cross the bridge going back over to Oakland because we had an event over in Oakland that night. But it seems like it was yesterday, but it wasn't yesterday. We were studying. We were studying for our dermatology exam when the earthquake hit, and some of us. I wasn't one of them though. Studied by flashlight, thinking we might have the exam the next day, but it was not happening. That's for sure. So, those little fun little stories, because my wife and I spent 4 years in San Francisco, and they were 4 of the best years ever because we conveniently forgot about all the stresses of exams and things and just remembered the fun things.
As you should.
Another side on that, my dad was also on the bridge when it collapsed in '89,
man.
but he was studying physics. So you guys were both studying at the same time, which is interesting.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Wow. Yeah, I was waiting for the World Series game to come on and everything started shaking and the walls started getting wavy and I caught the VCR off the TV as it fell. I'll never forget. So wild and crazy times. Joe, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, sorry, I'm going down like the most exciting geological thing that happened while I lived there for over 10 years. They were not that exciting, and I'm very grateful that it was not that exciting. So to transition just a little bit, as you are each representatives for the American Podiatric Medical Student Association, we'd love to hear a little bit about what that role is for you. We know there's lots of diversity in the roles that are available to students. So if you can talk about what your position is and what was it that made you want to be part of the leadership for APMSA? Kathryn, we'll start with you.
So my role at Samuel Merritt, I'm basically student body president-elect. So next year I'll be student body president. I work with the current student body president and we make sure, everything's kind of running smoothly at Samuel Merritt, so like planning events, approving rooms, stuff like that. But we also travel to the ACFAS conferences to vote on behalf of the House of Delegates. So really looking forward to doing that, as this will be my first time when I get to travel to one of these conferences and be a part of it. We also work with the other student body president representatives from other schools. So I thought it was really cool that we get to all collaborate. Even though we're from different schools, we all get to come together and we all get to work on big projects and do big things for the field of podiatry, just from the student level. Yeah, so really what interested me, I think first year was kind of just getting adjusted to, podiatry school and the curriculum and all that stuff. But then I really saw all the different opportunities, leadership opportunities there were. And I was like, wow, I really want to get to know other students and I really want to get involved in the field of podiatry. So I decided to run for this position and I thought it was really cool.
Oh, I love that. And Quinton, how about you?
So I'm a representative, a delegate for the class of 2028 is my role in APMSA. So through that, I ran for the MBPME liaison as well, and I'm the MBPME liaison for APMSA. So that's been great. I've been to one conference with APMSA and then 4 or 5 total, one being the national in Dallas this past summer, which was a great experience. But what drew me into APMSA was the opportunity to represent my class and kind of go to conferences, bring that information back, and make sure all their voices were heard at a national level. So like Kat mentioned, the House of Delegates is really exciting for us because we get to go and vote on matters that affect podiatric medical students directly.
Oh, I love that.
I like that too. And it makes you appreciate how small of a profession we have, because all the relationships you develop now as a student will stay with you forever. It doesn't really matter which school people come from. So that's fabulous. So I have a question for you. Going forward, I realize you're second years and you're kind of bogged down in basic sciences and you got boards coming up and all that. But what are you most excited about in the field of podiatric medicine? Quinton, let's start with you this time.
I think I'm most excited to see where this career takes me and what I can do for my patients in the future. I know there's so many different outlets I can go down, diabetic wound care, becoming a diabetic specialist, becoming a neuropathy specialist, all these different paths I can go. So I'm kind of at this point in my career trying to learn it all and learn what I can do and then see what interests me the most and go out and do that and see where I can have the biggest impact for my patients in the future.
Well said. Kathryn, do you prefer to go by Kat or Kathryn?
Either one.
All right,
Doesn't matter
your
to
turn.
me.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the field of podiatry. Just kind of like Quentin said, there's so many different great things about the field. I'm just kind of soaking it all in, just trying to learn everything. But I'm also really excited for the field of podiatry about where it'll be in the future. I feel like podiatry has already come a pretty long way, like with practicing and all that stuff. And I'm excited. I think we'll make progress as we continue to move forward. So I'm just really excited to see where the field of podiatry will go in like the next couple of years.
Well said.
Yeah, and we were actually just talking with another guest about this, that the amount of growth that has happened in the profession is truly remarkable, and the opportunities that are out there are endless. So again, it's a wonderful place to be in. The future is really exciting. And what I would love to know is, you guys are now well into your educational experience. When you were a student, like a non-medical student, you could even go all the way back to high school if you were starting to think a little bit about medicine at that time. What do you think knowing what you know now, what do you wish you knew prior to starting school? Or what advice might you give someone looking at health professions and podiatry in specific? And Kathryn, we'll go back to you and then we'll go back over to Quinton.
One thing I wish I knew coming into podiatry school, I think just how many exams you'll be taking. Is, after a while, it's a lot of exams, but also that at the same time, it's okay if you're struggling at first. It's okay if maybe you get a bad grade on an exam. You just, learn from those mistakes and move on. There's so many exams and there's so many things that you have to look forward to that it's okay if you're struggling. It might just take some time to adjust, but basically, it's okay. Everyone has gone through it. Everyone has had their struggles. It's okay. It's perfectly normal.
I love that. And validating that experience, that one bad grade is not going to be the end of your career, so that you can learn from that opportunity and continue to grow so that you stay on that path to excellence. I fully agree with you. And that is such a hard lesson to learn, but such a valuable one. So thank you for sharing that, because I know there are probably many people that can resonate with that message. Quinton, how about you?
I was 18, just graduated high school, going into college. First I wouldn't know what podiatry is, so I would first start with understanding what podiatry is. I didn't know what podiatry was until I had actually injured my foot and gone to the hospital and gone through the whole process. So I think looking and understanding what podiatry is, and for recent grads of high school, when they're starting college, they should go talk to their pre-med advisor. And the pre-med advisor might not actually know what podiatry is. Mine didn't direct me towards podiatry. It was always MDDO, which is not a problem, but I never understood what podiatry was. So having that understanding of what podiatry is going into the first years of college would have made a much bigger difference for me.
Yeah, and you're right. Awareness is half the battle, and not knowing that it is a 4-year graduate medical profession. You do a 3-year surgical residency program. You come out as a physician working in hospitals and surgery centers, and you have the, prescribing privileges. It is a full scope, even though it is a focused part of the body. You're right. A lot of people just don't even realize that it is either a separate pathway or that it's even an option at all. So I can appreciate that sentiment as well.
I agree. We see it every day, Joe. I mean, we start looking at students and we start looking at their background, or we do interviews. A lot of them are legacy students. They've got family that have been podiatrists, or then in the case like both of you were both treated by podiatrists or a family member. So the two most common groups. Right on, Nicholas. We've been talking about you. Just kidding. We're so glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm sorry for being late. I just got out of my clinical rotations, so here I am.
Oh my gosh, thank you. We figured that. Yes, welcome. So Nicholas, you are in the class of 2027, correct?
Correct.
And
yes.
So how was clinic today?
It's pretty good. We had biomechanics. It was just casting, going over how to treat people with PTD. Yeah, and just different taping techniques. So other than that, it was a really good learning experience. So
Joe, do you mind if I pivot and ask Nicholas a couple quick questions to kind of catch up to speed here? Is that all right?
Absolutely.
All right, Nicholas. We're interested in where you went to school, how you found out about podiatric medicine, and what your shadowing experience was like before entering Samuel Merritt.
Okay, that's backstory. So I went to school at University of Northwestern in Minnesota. So I'm from the Midwest. And then I got my BS in health sciences. Wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. Very traditional MD, DO route. Never heard of podiatry. And then I went for my master's at New York Medical College for my MPH in environmental health sciences. And so from there, during that time, my mom actually owned like a shoe store back in Minnesota. And so she saw this podiatrist quite a bit who often came to our clinic. And, and a lot of the community there, they wore my mom's shoes. So then he would often just buy shoes from my mom and then created custom orthotics for those shoes. And I just it never came across my mind like podiatry was a thing. So I was just kind of like, whoa, that's interesting. Why is he doing that? That's so random, but he does it so much. Like he's helping my mom, he's helping the community that my mom serves and, mainly sells her shoes to. And he's also a doctor. And so for me, it was just kind of like, oh, that's so interesting. Let me see what's up, right? Let me see what's that all about. So I ended up talking to him, shadowing him, and I was just mind blown. Like this was like a whole different profession from, going for your MD and DO. So, and that's pretty much my backstory. So,
gosh, that's excellent. And then one quick question. You're with APMSA, the American Podiatric Medical Students Association. Can you give us a little background of how you got involved and what your current roles are?
Yeah. So I am the APMSA alternate delegate for the class of 2027 at Samuel Merritt. And it was a unique opportunity because a lot of schools don't really have an alternate for every year or every other year. It's really based on funding. And so I was fortunate to have the opportunity for that and to run for that, and to be elected. And for me, I really wanted to be able to be a voice for my cohort and for podiatry and for our field. So within APMSA, I was able to run for a position um, within APMSA. It's the APMA Legislative Committee Liaison. So there I work a lot with APMA, and I'm able to often go to DC, the Capitol Hill, to go and talk about legislative portion of podiatry. There where we can advocate for our field and for all sorts of things. But I also act as the liaison to the students and the podiatrists in legislation as well. On top of that, I am also the APMSA Legislative Committee co-chair. So I actually run it with Derek Swanson at Midwestern. So we're very close. One of my best friends.
Shout out to Derek. Great student.
But we're great. I love his kid. So cute. Other than that, yeah, so we do a lot of work right now nationally. My lights are off. We do a lot of work nationally, so we're currently trying to partner with a lot of states right now and their legislatives to really try to get something going on in terms of maybe running a grassroots event or trying to just kind of introduce schools the more advocacy side of podiatry and legislation. And so right now our goal is just to get students involved as best as we can, to really fight for their field, to really fight for podiatry and just to move it forward. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do in APMSA. So not too much.
It makes me tired thinking about all that. Were you in DC? Were you in DC 2 weeks ago for the advocacy event?
No, I wasn't. My colleague Tyler from Temple. I don't know if you've interviewed him yet, but he was there.
Yeah, in fact, we got to know Tyler last year, Joe, when we were at the House of Delegates meeting in DC.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Yep, I did see pictures of him on social media. I'll give you guys, all three of you, a little tip for residency interviews. Posterior tibial tendon dysfunction has been one of the most popular questions asked at residency interviews every year for the 20 years running, because it's biomechanical, it's surgical, there's imaging required. So that's just your little tip for residency interviews going forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Joe?
Yeah, before we transition to professor shout outs, perhaps we can take a quick break to hear a shout out from our sponsor or for our sponsor, however we want to shout it out today.
We're going to do a shout out for Bako Diagnostics. They're sponsoring today's episode. We all know that early detection is the most important determination in improving patient outcomes. Bako Diagnostics remains committed to supporting you in your role as the first line of defense in diagnosing lower extremity pathologies. Bako Diagnostics, helping podiatric physicians keep America on its feet. We always shout out Bako because they are leaders in education, whether you're students, residents, practitioners, and we're just so happy that we have a partnership with Bako to sponsor the podcast. Nicholas, have you had the Bako workshop yet for biopsy techniques?
No, actually, we have not had Bako come to our school for a while.
Okay.
I know I'm in talks with Dr. Vlahovic, Tracy Vlahovic.
Oh, yes, of course.
She is trying to work something out for spring semester.
Very
I have met some of the representatives at the ACFES conferences and the APMA conferences to talk about coming in for our students. But it's just trying to get, a good time that works for everybody and for majority of the students.
Well, Dr. Vlahovic is no stranger to Dean's Chat. We've had her on twice. She's phenomenal. And I know she's your faculty, right? She's part of your faculty. Correct. Oh, that's fantastic. You're very, very fortunate. All right. So,
and that's a beautiful segue to professor shout outs. And this could be clinical faculty, it could be basic science faculty, but we would love to hear from you. Who's been a professor that's had a big impact on your educational experience while at Samuel Merritt? Quinton, we'll start with you this time.
Dr. Sanchez. So Dr. Henry Sanchez, he's our ICTB and our pathology professor. So ICTB is our version of histology. That's what we call histology. So he's our first year histology professor and then our second year pathology professor. And he's a surgical pathologist by trade. The way he teaches the course is so interesting. It just gets you interested in the slides, first the histology, and then the clinical vignettes. So he does board style questions that we take as weekly quizzes, and then of course exams. But just his lectures are so engaging the way he does them.
That's awesome. Nicholas, how about you? Who's a professor you want to shout out?
I want to give a shout out to Dr. Dutra. Um, he's been a longtime faculty. He does our biomechanics. I've had classes with him, and he's also taught me biomechanics. I've also done a lot of work with him in terms of research and volunteering. So he's a very he brings a whole new perspective to podiatry for me. He makes it fun. I don't know. Uh, for me, at least, he just makes it enjoyable and fun and very engaging. He's very caring. So I believe this year he's actually retiring. So it's a little bit sad. Or maybe I should have not said that. But anyways, but no, he's super great, super kind, and super. Oh, he's always giving to students, always giving to his community, always giving, to people when they need it. He was the director for, I don't know if this is like a nationwide thing, but Fit Feet Special Olympics.
Yep.
He's been in charge of that for many, many years in the Bay Area. And so seeing someone like him after a while be so involved is really inspiring. So shout out to
Yes,
Dr.
I share the love for Dr. Dutra. All right, Kathryn, how about you? Who would you want to provide your professor shout out to?
I would have to do Dr. Esther Kwan. She's our clinical director here at Samuel Merritt. She also teaches some of our classes. We just had a radiology class with her. She's super sweet. She plays a huge role, especially for clinicals. I mean, us as second years, we get a little bit of a taste of clinical a little bit early. So she kind of really helps keep things organized, keeps things moving because clinicals, there's so many different clinical rotations and we're trying to figure out where do we need to go next. And she's always on top of it. She's always keeping us on track. So wanted to shout out Dr. Kwan for always helping us.
Oh, it's so fun. Dr. Kwan, so this is going to show my age a little bit. She was one of my favorite students that came through when I was a resident.
Wow.
I loved her and I kept trying to convince her that she wanted to come to our program. But she had different plans for her future, and I get it, but she was wonderful. She still is wonderful, but I will mirror your shout out as well. And I worked with Dr. Sanchez, and he is phenomenal, but I got to work with him in a completely different kind of capacity as a colleague. So
Shout out to Dr. Dutra. He's been on Dean's Chat too. We had a long conversation. Dr. Dutra is one of the docs when you interview him for an hour, it's like, oh, wait a second. It only feels like 10 minutes has gone by. He's truly, truly amazing. And you're all very fortunate to learn under him. So I've got a question for the three of you. Thinking back, before you got into podiatry school and currently, what is one inspirational experience that you've had to date that you'll never forget? Kat, let's go with you first.
You put me on the spot.
Well, or you can punt and come back. It's okay.
No, it's okay. One experience that really stood out to me probably had to be actually most recently. I volunteered at a clinic in Sacramento. It was for the underserved community. A lot of them did not have health insurance, so it was a free clinic for them. Um, we, got to see a couple patients on our own helping the underserved community, and it was really inspiring to see how much they appreciated you taking the time out of your day just to see them and to treat them. And they had such big smiles on their faces, and even if you just did like a little bit something as simple as clipping their toenails or something like that, or just checking them out, they were super happy and super grateful. So I just remember that experience, and I'll just take that with me when I see future patients, just seeing how much I can better their day just from even such a small little thing. So
that's a great story. Thank you. Quinton, what is an inspirational experience you've had that you'll never forget?
It was during a rotation this summer. It was a patient with a spider bite, and we weren't sure exactly what to do. I think actually at this rotation in the clinical group, Nick and Kat were both there because our groups kind of combined. But it was very inspiring to see the resident and the attending, actually both residents that were on staff, the third year I was working with, and the attending come in and check this patient out to see what was going on. So it felt like there was a lot of care being provided for this individual, which was inspiring for me.
So what was going on and what happened?
It was an infected spider bite and on the foot right above the first MPJ. So the patient was admitted to the hospital and started antibiotic IV, and that's what happened. We were able to stop it at that. Oh, the team was able to stop it with that. I was there, kind of just watching.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
great. That's kind of one of those things, Joe, in Arizona, you learn to always check your shoe before you put it on.
That's exactly right. And across the country, I mean, that this, different kinds of spiders are in different kind of places, and some of those spider bites can get really messy. I mean, otherwise healthy people, and their tissue literally liquefies, and so sometimes there's surgical debridement that's necessary, and certainly, hospital admission, IV antibiotics. So I could see how that would be a teaching moment that was really, you get to see the attending and the resident and the students that are all there. So yeah, absolutely. Some of those, interesting moments that stick with you.
It's great.
and it showed me that you never know what you're going to see when you wake up in the morning. I thought we would mostly be
Yeah.
seeing diabetic cases, and then a spider bite came in.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you got to break out Google and go to images, right, and say, what's going on here? Okay, and Nicholas, tell us about an inspirational experience you've had that you'll never forget.
Okay, yeah. So my school, we often have this thing where we once a month we volunteer. We have the opportunity to volunteer with the American Public Health Association Club, the foot and ankle chapter at Samuel Merritt. We have the opportunity to go to the community of Berkeley and to work with them to serve the underserved and homeless at a church. And so I believe it was like the first month for me, being a first year student, and just being able to attend this event service was just astonishing in terms of seeing how the patients were. They were very nice and very personable, and for me, I was just very taken back on the kind of, I guess, environment. They were very happy. They had a lot of gratitude for the students coming in, and so it was also a very like it was a great learning experience as well. And so for me, just everything tied together, like the patients, seeing the community, um, the students, upperclassmen, teaching the first and second year students was just kind of very like, wow, I this is where I need to be. And so it made me very inspired to also continue, coming monthly. So I've been to this event that's been held monthly, and this year I am currently the president for the American Public Health Association, where I am now organizing these events. I am now, teaching first and second years, basic physical exams, and all that sorts. So it's been very full circle. Other than that, yeah. So that was probably my most, I guess, the most inspirational part of my experience here. So.
Well, with public health as an interest, there's lots of opportunities going forward, different fellowships and things. So, I mean, you never know. Talk about inspirational. There you go. That's fantastic.
And potentially inspirational in this like longevity perspective. JD Shi, Dr. Shi, I was curious if he was part of it, because so again, 7 degrees of separation question, right? He was a huge part of progressing the activity of that club and the student involvement and engagement in that. And I don't know enough of the history to know if there were people before him, but certainly in my tenure while I was there, he was a huge driving force for that as a student, which is when I first met him, and then even after as he became faculty and stayed on. So he inspired me. You are inspiring the first and second years that are learning from you, and that will continue. And I think that what an amazing opportunity to be in your educational experience, but also have that opportunity to inspire others. So thank you for sharing that with us, Nicholas.
Joe, you think we should move on to some rapid fire? It's always fun from the Bay Area.
And these are the fun kinds. So you can like take a breath. We're not going to
Yep.
like ask you a bunch of biomechanics or pathology questions. So these are fun rapid fire.
Yeah, you can't get these wrong. All right, I'll go first. Quinton, what is one of the best things that you enjoy about the Bay Area?
The nature, mountain biking, hiking, just being outside. Grew up kind of the South Bay by the Santa Cruz Mountains, so mountain biking all the time.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Kat, what do you like most about the Bay Area?
I love that the water's right there, the beach. I'm from Sacramento, so I'm more inland. We don't get the ocean like that. But also just a lot of things to do. There's San Francisco, San Jose. There's just so many things to do in the Bay Area. It's great.
Totally agree. And Nicholas, your thoughts on the Bay Area?
Yeah, I have two things, all right? The first thing is the weather. I am from Minnesota, where, when you wake up during the winter, the wind, go out to the car, the wind hurts your face. It really hurts your face. You don't have to wake up extra early to start your car. That's like the most beautiful thing in like December, November, January, February, May, sometimes October. And I can wear just a t-shirt and just go to school, So I love the weather here. And I can it's weird. I can sleep with the window open here, but in Minnesota, I just cannot. And I will get very, very sick and my throat will get very irritated. So I don't know. The air, maybe it's a little bit better here. Humidity is probably better here as well. And then number two would be the food. I love the food here. The food, the diversity in food, the easy access to food. So yeah.
That's interesting.
Ooh,
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say that's gonna be a beautiful segue to my favorite question for students. And so, Nick, I'm gonna put you back on the spot now because having lived in San Francisco myself, that was overwhelming. And Kathryn, the events, like I loved all the. There's always something fascinating happening, and certainly the beauty of the like so many indoor, outdoor activities. But so, Nicholas, what's your favorite food option? If you had only one place you could go, where would you go and why?
All right. There is this place in Daly City which is like a city a little bit south of San Francisco called Seapot. It's hot pot. So but it's like they do a lot of stuff too. They do like Korean barbecue there. But it's like pretty much they have conveyor belts that just come around the tables and then you just pick whatever food you want and you throw it in your little hot pot and you cook it, and it's very convenient. So and then you can also like make your own sauces, but it's a very Asian and Chinese dish, and so I enjoy it. I love all sorts of food, but that is probably my go-to when I'm like hangry, when I'm like after an exam or finals, or after maybe like one of my attendings. Like, I don't know if you guys know Dr. Razelman, but if he's like pimping me very hard, I'm like, I need to get some hot pots. So, and I'm just like struggling. So, but yeah, so I'd say hot pot is my favorite thing because you can do so much with it.
Fantastic. How about you, Quinton? What's your food of choice in the Bay Area?
Oh, there's so much good food, but I would say my favorite restaurant right now is a Italian, like seasonal Italian restaurant called SPQR. So SPQR being like the tagline or the motto of the Roman Empire, kind of like what E pluribus unum is for us. That was SPQR for them. So it's the name of the Italian restaurant, and they bring out just seasonal stuff. They make like corn ravioli in the fall and stuff like that. It's great.
Ooh, are they in San Francisco or what city are
Yeah,
they
so it's only one location, and it's in San Francisco.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. All right, Kathryn, how about you? Favorite foods?
I would have to say the Korean food. There's this one spot I really enjoy in San Francisco in Japantown. It's called Daeho. It's a Korean restaurant and they just have like these big portions of braised beef and short ribs and then they come and they get the torch and they melt the cheese on top. It's so good. And yeah, after like Nick said, after exams, I'm like, I just want a nice, big, tasty Korean meal. So that's my go-to.
Oh my gosh, I love
Kat, is that
Japantown. Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Quinn.
Kat, is that the place we went for your birthday?
No, it's not, but it should have been. But we'll go some other time. We'll go to Daeho some other time.
So Nicholas, I found the most interesting thing about the weather there. When I first moved into an apartment in San Francisco, we opened up the windows and there were no screens. So you have to worry about bugs. And like you, I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in Minnesota on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, that's funny. It's true. I have the window open all day. I do have a screen, but other than that, yeah, there is a lot of bugs in the Midwest, and that's something that I'm just not used to. Yeah, actually did not realize that there's not a lot of bugs over here.
All right, yeah, you're right. Okay, whose turn is it, Joe? Yours or mine? Mine?
I think I just said food. It's your turn.
Yep. Okay. Music of choice. If you have an opportunity to go to a concert in the Bay Area, who do you want to go see? Let's start with Kat.
My music taste is very all over the place. I really like rap, pop, so like Drake, Kendrick, but I also like EDM. So a lot of the big artists I like to see are like DJ Snake, Chainsmokers, Zed. My music taste is just honestly depending on how I feel. It's very all over the place.
Fantastic. And Quinton, how about you?
I would start with the same response. My music's all over the place. I like Linkin Park, Drake, George Strait, everyone. But I would say if I could see one artist live in the Bay, probably Stevie Wonder. If he was going to do a Songs in the Key of Life tour, I
Oh,
would go
yeah.
see Stevie Wonder.
He
Great
played
choice.
Outside Lands one year, and it was outstanding.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
I wish I could
Well,
have made it.
you were much younger, so.
Nicholas, your music choice and who do you like to see in concert?
Oh man, I'm really into ballads, so um, I'd say like artists that have very like slow, nice tempo, but very like all out kind of emotion, very very emo songs. I'd say like Adele. Adele is one of my favorite artists. I like Sam Smith. And I'm just trying to think of I really like Tori Kelly. Um, yeah, I mean those are probably the top three that I can really just name on top of my head. But those are my
Good.
favorite artists. So
Very good. Joe, do you have a last rapid fire question? I've got one if you don't.
No, I'll let you go because I'm thinking of all the bands I want to recommend to Nicholas now when he said ballads. So we'll talk about that offline.
All right. So you're so busy and you've got so many exams and there's a lot of stress. What do you do to recharge the battery? Quinton, why don't you go first on this one?
First, I would say having good friends is really good. Our class is pretty close. Our second year class is pretty close, and a lot of us hang out outside of class and go do stuff either in the city in Oakland, whether that be getting ice cream or just hanging out. That's a really good support system. But also just going for walks in my neighborhood. So I wake up pretty early before class. I go for a walk. When I get back in the evening, I also go for a walk, and that helps to put some buffer in between starting and finishing my day, which helps manage the stress a lot.
Very good. Well said. Nicholas, what do you do to relax and recharge your battery between exams?
um like Quentin, I'd say food is probably my number one. Two, I'm a gamer. I play games. It's hard to play games nowadays if you have exams every week and clinical rotations. So that's been my thing. And with friends, usually when I'm with friends, we usually do things like karaoke. There's a lot of karaoke's nearby. We love to sing and just to belt and pretend like we're Adele's. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I just got a text to go karaoke tonight, so so that's funny. I was like, oh, okay, but yeah, I mean, yeah, those things are usually what helps me kind of forget about the scores.
There you go. Kat, what do you do to relax and recharge the battery between exams?
Yeah, just like everyone else said, we have a really close class, so a lot of us go to the city sometimes. But also sometimes I just go home sometimes if we don't have an exam. I just drive home, see my mom, see my parents, my grandparents. Just nice to recharge. And I get home cooking. I don't have to cook anymore. So that's always a good recharge for me.
Well, that's fabulous. Well, all work and no play doesn't work. So you got to figure out what you like to do and take advantage of it and know when to study and when to recharge, so to speak. Joe, any last comments?
No, thank you all so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming and sharing your insights and perspectives about what it's like to serve on the APMSA leadership and also the unique perspective of what your school is like. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And we're going to send each of you a Dean's Chat mug. And it's also, mine's got the little Baco logo on it. And
Mine
you can,
doesn't, so I'm going to keep it
you
this
can
way.
start your day the
Mine's
Dean's
old.
Chat way. Yours is old. There you go.
Nice.
But they're fairly big too. So,
They are.
before walk, after walk, Quentin, either time. It's okay.
Yeah.
And you can fill it with whatever you want.
Absolutely. So to all of our listeners out there, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating, or even better yet, leave a comment or two. And if you're watching on YouTube, by all means, become a subscriber. Joe and I will continue to bring not only leaders in the podiatric profession, but future leaders in the podiatric profession. And I don't have my when I went to school in San Francisco, it was the California College of Podiatric Medicine. I was looking for my sweatshirt. I was going to wear it tonight, and I couldn't find it. But anyways, congratulations. You have found a phenomenal profession, and hopefully Joe and I look forward to following your career going forward. And if there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye. Nick, I'm glad you were able to join us.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for the last minute run in.
Oh, it's
It's all
early.
good.
It's early California time. You're totally good. Totally.
Yeah, no, but I'm so happy to be here. So
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye-bye now.
Thank you guys.